Hi, welcome to howtohuntcruisedeer.com. I'm John Stallone, and what we're doing here, we just got a little side project here in the off season. Um, I like to build my own recurve bows and longbows, and we're going to take you through the process of making one yourself, and just by buying stuff at Home Depot and with some hand tools and minimal hand tools. What I did here is I purchased three, and this is going to be a real short, I'm actually experimenting with this. It's going to be a real short reflex-deflex bow. It's kind of somewhere in between, if you're familiar with that, it's somewhere in between a recurve bow and a longbow. I went to Home Depot and I purchased this lamination type wood. This is a red oak, this is poplar, and ash. So three different hardwoods. And what I've done is I have marked, and I'm going to use red oak since it is the hardest and the strongest, and has the most tensile strength. This is going to be the main body or the backing. Well, actually, I don't want to use the word backing because I'm actually going to back it with probably linen or some type of fabric. But this is going to be the main core of the bow. And I don't know if you could see it because I did it in pen. I usually do it in marker, but I have basically marked out on this slat how I want to cut these pieces. The riser is only 10 inches. So I marked it out 10 inches, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but I have my shelf marked out here, the basic shape of my handle here. And what I did was I went from the very outer edge and I tapered it down to 3/4 of an inch. So that's, on this bow, that's quite a bit of a slope. I'll show you another bow that I'm working on real quick here. This is more of a traditional longbow. This is got a 70-inch longbow, and you can see that taper is not nearly as drastic. It actually starts more narrow, and this is just a bit over 3/8. Well, I want to say it might be even 5/8. So that's more of a traditional longbow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this, this shape, and then I'm going to cut out the same shape but shorter and a little bit more narrow, so that it'll be 3 inches shorter on this side, 3 inches shorter on that side, and about 1/8 of an inch, somewhere between 1/8 of an inch more narrow from starting point to end point. That way we're going to get like an effect. And I'm going to show you yet another type of bow that I'm doing, just so you can understand the effect of what I did. This is just the limb of a takedown bow. So here's my red oak, my poplar, and the ash, and you can see how it's got that staircase look to it because I've cut each piece smaller, and I'm going to do the same thing with this. The handle part obviously is going to stay the same, but the limbs themselves get smaller and more narrow. That way, and I'm going to show you this particular limb, I've already mounted it and started to glue it, and you can see how that turns out once you begin forming it and sanding it. You can see how it's tapered. This is the ash, and this is a four laminated. It's red oak ash, popular red oak again. But here's the one piece. Here's the second piece right here. It ends right there, and then the third piece ends up here with that. And this still has some more tillering that needs to be done. We need to take more material off of this because it's still quite rigid. But for all practical purposes, that's what we're going to do on this. So what we'll do is I'm gonna lay this out, and then we'll cut this, and we'll start next week once I've had these cut out. And I'm sure you don't. If you're taking on a project like this, you don't need to watch me cut. I'm just gonna take a jigsaw, cut them out, and then I'll sand down the edges just to a rough, so that's somewhat smooth. Because obviously you can see how much sanding we're going to be doing later. That it's not that important to make them that smooth from the get-go. But I'll cut them out, and on next week's post, we're going to show you how to laminate them, how to put them together, and we're going to take you through the phases. So each week we're going to take you to the phases of me building this bow. Well, thanks for joining us, and stay tuned to our website. We appreciate you.